Hi, and welcome to this workshop where we will talk about barriers to employment, networking, and applying for the job. First, we will talk about barriers to employment. So barriers to employment covers topics such as criminal backgrounds, being fired from a job, digital reputation, and credit history. So your criminal history will include things such as DUIs, felonies and misdemeanors, and expunging your criminal record. So driving under the influence, in South Carolina, that offense would stay on your driving record for 10 years. Employers can also look as far back as 10 years when deciding whether or not they would like to bring an individual on as an employee. And usually this is only for jobs that will require driving. Felonies and misdemeanors, on the other hand, stay on your record indefinitely, and most employers do criminal history checks regardless of the job responsibilities. So it is important to show employers that you have learned from your mistakes. Expunging your record. Not all states allow expungement, but South Carolina does. And not all offenses can be expunged. Courts can still see the offenses, and you must hire an attorney and pay a fee in order to have expungements on your record. So let's talk a bit about your credit history. We will talk about bankruptcies, repossessions, and how to repair your credit. Bankruptcies stay on your credit for 10 years. Late bill payments and bill collections stay on your credit for 7 years. And even with higher interest rates, you can still get credit. So a little about repossessions. Any property can be repossessed, but it usually pertains to cars, and that stays on your credit report for up to 7 years. So now we'll talk a little bit about how to repair your credit. Under federal law, you are allowed to dispute items that are inaccurate, out of date, and unverifiable. You would go about disputing a credit report or something on your credit report by ordering your 3 credit reports, which includes Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. You will then examine your reports carefully. You would use the double D strategy, which includes disputing and documenting. Then you would solve and dissolve debt. And by doing those things, you would add stability to your credit life. In the event that you have been fired from a job, don't worry, it's not the end of the world, and we will now talk about how to answer questions about it. First, you would want to stay positive. You'd want to be brief, be honest, and keep it moving. You'd want to practice your answers beforehand and definitely tell the truth about any times that you were let go from a job. Now, in reference to your digital reputation, try Googling yourself. Then remove any unflattering pics, posts, and comments, and update your privacy settings on all of your social media platforms, which may include things like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. In conclusion, your background can have a major effect on you, including your search for a job. Not everything in your background can be fixed, but there are options for you to pursue to clean up past problems. Fix what you can from your past, go forward, and be aware that what you do financially, work-wise, and criminally will affect every aspect of your life. So there are no quick fixes to background or credit problems, but there are measures you can take to help. So disclose, disclose, disclose. If you tell about your problem when asked, you may find that there's no problem at all. Ask about the federal bonding program, and also remember to check your credit reports. For this information and others in regards to barriers to employment, see these sites or articles where it talks about how to handle a termination, how to repair your credit, and what about background checks. The next topic discussed today will be networking. We will talk about what networking is, why to network, and where to go to network. So networking is one of the most important career readiness skills you can develop. It's an active process of meeting people or exchanging information to get things done, and it helps to build relationships that are mutually beneficial. So why network? 80% of jobs are never advertised. That's known as a hidden job market. And sometimes it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And you can network just about anywhere. Try networking at hair salons, schools, churches, and with your friends. So virtually anyone can be a network ally. Talk to your neighbors, relatives, or friends. You can discuss your need for employment with old and current business associates, business and social organizations, church groups, and online sources, but couch potatoes need not apply. For online resources regarding networking, try sites such as LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And for other helpful related articles, see the ones listed here: 7 Myths of Networking, Fact or Fiction, Etiquette for LinkedIn and the Professional Networking World, 7 Networking Myths, and How to Find a Job on Twitter. So get started networking now. Research and join an association in your area and industry. Check out online networking sites and develop an elevator speech for face-to-face networking events. So in conclusion, networking is still one of the top ways to find a job. Tell everyone you are looking for a job, even online and in person, and make yourself worth endorsing. The last topic we will discuss is applying for the job. And this workshop will cover the purpose of the applications, tips on how to complete them thoroughly, and background checks and pre-employment drug screenings, which include background checks, credit checks, polygraphs, drug screens, skills testing, and other assessments. So employers use applications for several reasons. They use it to obtain information about you that may not be listed on your resume. They will discover your availability, your salary history, and any needs for accommodations. It's also a good way for them to screen candidates. And thirdly, they are used to fulfill HR paperwork requirements. So just a few application tips. Complete a master job application. Follow the instructions. Neatness definitely counts. And target your application to the employer. Also remember to fill in all of the blanks. Be positive and tell the truth. Be careful with salary requirements and select professional references. Always be consistent. So double check your work at the end of your application process and avoid these common mistakes, which include misspelled words, crossed out writing, failure to print, wrinkled or folded applications, incomplete information, unanswered questions, incomplete work history, being late to the deadlines, and neglecting to sign your applications. Now we'll talk about background checks, and these are the different possible types of background checks. These include just background checks, credit checks, polygraphs, and drug screens. Background checks check your criminal history, your driving record information. It also includes reference checking and your employment history. Credit checks are used to narrow down candidates. Signing applications gives consent for a credit check. Your credit may impact your ability to do the job, and repossessions and bankruptcies may question your judgment. Polygraphs used to be very popular, and it's usually still used during federal, state, and local government employment. Drug screenings are usually required pre-employment, but they can be asked for at any time. Signing your application gives consent, and it shows you pose no safety risk. Now we'll talk about possible pre-employment testing. These include skills testing and assessments. And a little bit about why employers use these tests and assessments. It helps them to hire the most qualified applicants. It helps to keep the turnover rate down, helps predict retainability, and they do not discriminate based off of race, color, sex, national origin, religion, disability, or age. So these are the types of tests and assessments that could be used: cognitive tests, physical ability tests, sample job tasks, language proficiency tests, personality assessments, and psychological testing. And here are a few tips for pre-employment testing. Do your homework. Try not to get flustered. Use common sense. Be honest with yourself. And review key skills that you know would be necessary for the job you're applying for. And in summary, the job application process can sometimes feel like you're jumping through hoops, but by staying positive, providing detailed information, and being willing to participate in the employer screening process, you will find your job match. So for further information on this workshop content, see Job Application Guide, Education for Justice Fact Sheet E6, and Workers' Rights Employer Testing. Watch out for more workshops from SE Works Career Readiness Series. Other topics will include Introduction to SE Works Online Services, also known as SQOS, and Labor Market Information, SQOS registration and background creation, job searching and resume creation, and also the interview and workplace etiquette. Thank you for joining us.